Mrugayan Ranam Yuyutsur Mrugayan Ranam Hiraṇyākṣo Anujastasya Priyah Priti Krud Anvaham Gadapanir Divam Yato Yuyutsur Mrugayan Ranam Hiraṇyākṣo Anujastasya Priyah Priti Krud Anvaham Gadapanir Divam Yato Yuyutsur Mrugayan Ranam. Hiraṇyākṣa, Hiraṇyākṣa, Anujaha, younger brother, Tasya, his, Priyaha, beloved, Pritikrut, ready to please, Anuaham, every day, Gadapanihi, with a club in hand, Divam, to the higher planets, Yataha, travelled, Yuyutsuhu, desirous to fight, Mrugayan, seeking, Ranam, combat. Translation and purport by Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada. His younger brother Hiraṇyākṣa was always ready to satisfy his elder brother by his activities. Hiraṇyākṣa took a club on his shoulder and travelled all over the universe with a fighting spirit just to satisfy Hiraṇyakāśipu. Please repeat the translation. His younger brother Hiraṇyākṣa was always ready to satisfy his elder brother by his activities. Hiraṇyākṣa took a club on his shoulder and travelled all over the universe with a fighting spirit just to satisfy Hiraṇyakāśipu. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The demoniac spirit is to train all family members to exploit the resources of this universe for personal sense gratification, whereas the godly spirit is to engage everything in the service of the Lord. Hiraṇyakāśipu was himself very powerful, and he made his younger brother Hiraṇyākṣa powerful to assist him in fighting with everyone and lording it over material nature as long as possible. If possible, he wanted to rule the universe eternally. These are the demonstrations of the spirit of demoniac living entity. Next verses, I'll recite myself. Tam viksha dussaha javam ranat kanchana nupuram Vaijayantya Shajajustam Amshanyashta Mahagadam. Hiraṇyākṣa's temper was difficult to control. He had anklets of gold tinkling about his feet. He was adorned with a gigantic garland, and he rested his huge mace on one of his shoulders. Manovirya varotchiktam ashranyam akuto bayam bhita nililire devas tarksha trashta Ivahayavaha. His mental and bodily strength, as well as the boon conferred upon him, made him proud. He feared death at the hands of no one, and there was no checking him. The gods, therefore, were seized with fear at his very sight, and they hid themselves even as snakes hide themselves for fear of Garuda. Purport. The asuras are generally strong built as described here, and therefore their mental condition is very sound, and their prowess is also extraordinary. Hiraṇyākṣa and Hiraṇyakāśipu, having received the boon that they would not be killed by any other living entity within this universe, were almost immortal, and thus they were completely fearless. Savai tirohitan društva mahasa svena daityarat sendran deva ganan kshiban apashyan vyanadad brusham. On not finding Indra and the other demigods who had previously been intoxicated with power, the chief of the Daitya, seeing that they all vanished before his might, roared loudly. Tato nivritya kidrishyan Gambiram Bhima Niswanam Vijagahe Mahasatvo Varadim Matta Ivadvipaha. After returning from the heavenly kingdom, the mighty demon, who was like an elephant in wrath for the sake of sport, dived into the great deep ocean, which was roaring terribly. Tasmin pravuste varunasya shainika yado gana sannadiya sasadvashaha ahanyamana apitasya varchasa pradarshita durataram pradudruvaha. On his entering the ocean, the aquatic animals who formed the host of Varuna were stricken with fear and ran far away. Thus, Hiraṇyākṣa showed his splendor without dealing a blow. Purport. Materialistic demons sometimes appear to be very proud and are seen to establish their supremacy throughout the world. Here also it appears that Hiraṇyākṣa, by his demoniac strength, actually established his supremacy throughout the universe. And the demigods were afraid of his uncommon power. Not only were the demigods in space afraid of the demons Hiraṇyakāśipu and Hiraṇyākṣa, but so also were the aquatic animals within the sea. Savarsha Pugan Udado Mahabalas Charan Mahor Nirin Swasaneritan Muhuhu Murvyabi Jagne Gadaya Viba Vivarim Ashe Divam Stata Purim Prachetasaha. Moving about in the ocean for many years, the mighty Hiraṇyākṣa smote the gigantic wind-tossed waves again and again with his iron mace and reached Vibhavari, the capital of Varuna. Purport. Varuna is supposed to be the predominating deity of the waters, and his capital, which is known as Vibhavari, is within the watery kingdom. Tatropalabhyasura lokapalakam yado gananam rushabam prachetasam smayan pralabdhum pranipatya nichavat jagadame dehi adiraja samyugam. Vibhavari is the home of Varuna, the lord of the aquatic creatures and guardian of the lower regions of the universe, where the demons greatly reside. There, Hiraṇyākṣa fell at Varuna's feet like a low-born man, and to make fun of him, he said with a smile, "Give me battle, O Supreme Lord." Purport. The demoniac persons always challenge others and tries to occupy others' property by force. Here these symptoms are fully displayed by Hiraṇyākṣa, who begged war from a person who has no desire to fight. Tvam lokapalo adipatir bruhashrava viryapaho durmada viramanina vichitya loke akila dhaitya dhanavan yad rajasuyena purajayat prabho. You are the guardian of an entire sphere and the ruler of wide fame. Having crushed the might of arrogant and conceited warriors and having conquered all the Daityas and Danavas in the world, you once performed a Rajasuya sacrifice to the Lord. Saeva mutsikta madena vidishva drudam pralabdho bhagavan apampatihi rosham samuttam samayan swayadhiya vyavachod angopasamam gata vayam. Thus mocked by an enemy whose vanity knew no bounds, the worshipable Lord of the waters waxed angry, but by dint of his reason he managed to curb the anger that has sprung up in him. And he replied, "O dear one, we have now desisted from warfare, having grown too old for combat." Purport. As we see, warmongering materialists always create fighting without reason. Pashyami nanyam purushat puratanad yas samyuge tvam ranamarge kovidam aradya ishyati asura rushabhehi tam manasvinoyam grinate bhavadrushaha. You are so skilled in the war that I do not see anyone else but the most ancient person, Lord Vishnu, who can give satisfaction in battle to you. Therefore, O chief of the Asuras, approach him, whom even heroes like you mention with praise. Purport. Aggressive materialistic warriors are actually punished by the Supreme Lord for their policy of unnecessarily disturbing world peace. Therefore, Varuna advised Hiraṇyākṣa that the right course to satisfy his fighting spirit would be to seek to fight with Vishnu. Tam viram arad adipatya vismayaha shayishyasye virashaye swabirvritaha yastvad vidanam asatam prashantaye rupani datte sad anugrahe chaya. Varuna continued, on reaching him you will be rid of your pride at once and will lie down on the field of battle surrounded by dogs for eternal sleep. It is in order to exterminate wicked fellows like you and to show his grace to the virtuous that he assumes his various incarnations like Varaha. Purport. Asuras do not know that their bodies consist of the 5 elements of material nature, and when they fall, they become objects of pastimes for dogs and vultures. Varuna advised Hiraṇyākṣa to meet Vishnu in his boar incarnation, so that his hankering for aggressive war would be satisfied and his personal powerful body would be vanquished. Doesn't see Bhaktivedanta purports of 3rd canto, 17th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam entitled Victory of Hiraṇyākṣa all over the directions of the universe. Nama Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Nityanamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Prasharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhaktarunda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So the last part of this chapter explains about the demoniac spirit and the challenging attitude of the demons. Hiraṇyākṣo Anujastasya, the Anujaha Tasya of Hiraṇyakashipu, was younger brother was Hiraṇyākṣa. Priya Pritikrud Anvaham, to satisfy his elder brother at all cost, every day, Anvaham. Gada Panir Divam Yataha, with a Gada, with a mace, climbed on his shoulder. He went to the heavenly planets, Divam Yataha. Yuyutsur Mrugayan Ranam, Yuyutsuhu, with a desire to fight. So, with an eagerness to fight, with an that desire and perspective of anxious to fight with others, that mentality, challenging mentality. He went for everywhere asking for fighting, battle. So in the purport, Prabhupada explains, the demoniac spirit is to train all family members to exploit the resources of this universe for personal sense gratification, whereas godly spirit is to engage everything in the service of the Lord. It's a contrast between two categories of living entities, Asuras and Devas. Asuras want to use everything for their personal sense gratification, and Devas wants to use everything for the service of the Lord. Hiraṇyakashipu was himself very powerful, and he made Hiraṇyākṣa powerful to assist him in fighting with everyone and lording it over the material nature as long as possible. If possible, he wanted to rule the universe eternally. So this is their understanding, to survive eternally and to rule the universe with all assisting forces. So this understanding of point called as challenging spirit, we see everywhere. Modern day to Vedic times. From time immemorial, this challenging spirit was always existed. How do we say? This challenging spirit has different grades of presentation. Sattvaguna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna. In Sattvaguna, a scholar will challenge other scholars. He wants to prove his point. Muni, who are all mental speculators. They bring out a point, they bring out a theory, and they want to establish this theory. So they go everywhere, they challenge other scholars to establish their theories and to prove themselves as superior. This is challenging in Sattvaguna. Then challenging in Rajoguna. Kshatriyas, they want to prove they are mighty. They go and challenge other Kshatriyas to gain over their kingdom, to conquer in passion, challenging spirit in passion. In Tamoguna, demons. They challenge everyone to crush them and to destroy the opposite person, to create harassment for others, destruction. Now, if you see in Bhagavatam 10th canto, we see Krishna, in Krishna's pastime itself. We come across various personalities with this nature. One was Kamsa. You know how Kamsa became very powerful? Kamsa was assisted by various demons whom he was sending to kill Krishna, correct? So how did Kamsa conquer all these demons? So Kamsa used to go to each demon and he used to say, I have come for a battle with you. Like how Hiraṇyākṣa was also saying to Varuna, I have come for a battle. If you become victorious, I'll become your servant. And if I become victorious, you should become my servant. And Kamsa was a heavy personality with all might. He subdued all these demoniac people by fighting individually and by conquering them. And he made them all his servants. So he was roaming everywhere. For a person who is suitable enough to combat with any mighty person anywhere, he used to go and combat and make him his servant. In that way, he was controlling all these demoniac people. So then Jarasandha, he was also one more demoniac person. So Kamsa and Jarasandha were like father-in-law and son-in-law. So two people of same mentality, demoniac mentality. So they became relatives. They thought one will assist the other. And this Jarasandha attitude, because when Krishna killed Kamsa, what was Kamsa's nature? Because he know death is there and death is hiding from me. Where it was hiding? Narad Muni explained that death was hiding in the house of Nanda Maharaj. Vasudeva had planned this. He failed his promise of delivering the child. He made a drama, showed that it was a baby girl. Kamsa became very angry. He wanted to take revenge. But how to take revenge? So he planned a Dhanush Yajna and an entertainment program. What is that entertainment program? Wrestling, arm wrestling. One sacrifice was conducted and arm wrestling was conducted. So people across his country were all invited. Like a big festival was going on. So he sent his most trusted minister, Akrura, to Vrindavan to bring back Krishna and Balaram. So Akrura went there, informed Krishna and Balarama of this great sacrifice, and they were invited with all their friends and family members. So Nanda Maharaj, some of the Gopas and Krishna's friends, everybody started coming for Mathura. But again, there is one perspective there. Krishna was leaving there, so all the gopis did not want him to go. But Krishna promised, I am going today. In 3 days, I am coming back. I am killing Kamsa, finishing the systems there, setting up the process there, and I will come back on the 3rd day, 4th day. But reluctantly, Krishna was sent. So Krishna came here. When they came, they first were challenged by that Kovalaya Pida, intoxicated elephant. Then Krishna killed that elephant, Krishna and Balarama. They went further. So then they came across that Dhanush Yajna, where that bow is kept for that sacrifice. They went and broke that bow. They killed all the people there assisting that bow. And next day there was this Malla Yuddha, where Mushtika, Chanura, Toshana, like that, all hefty personalities. If you see, it is like a mountain versus a small person, the capacity of that Malla Yuddha Veera to Krishna and Balarama. They were like small, tiny children in front of that hefty personalities. So, but Krishna and Balarama, they don't know that Krishna and Balarama were much mightier in capacity than physical strength. So, Krishna and Balarama killed all these Malla Yuddha warriors. Kamsa became enraged. He immediately made an instruction. What is that? Catch that Vasudeva and kill him. Seize all the properties of Nanda Maharaj and throw him out of the city. And attack this Krishna and Balarama. Like that, he became out of tension, out of anxiety, out of fear of life, because Krishna was showing his mighty display. So as soon as Kamsa wanted to attack the intimate relatives, Krishna became very angry. He jumped onto the podium, kicked Kamsa, dragged him onto the floor and gave him some punches. That's it. Kamsa was gone then and there itself. And Kamsa, to assure people that Kamsa had died, Krishna dragged that Kamsa's body all across the stadium. So that people might see, sometimes you get a punch, you become unconscious. And again, you may get up and you may think, okay, now I am unconscious, now I have full strength, I can revert back. Krishna showed, no, he is not unconscious, he is dead. Now, to assist Kamsa, the other brothers came. Some other brothers of Kamsa came. Then Balarama killed all those people. Now, in the meantime, Kamsa's wives were there, two daughters, two wives. They were the two daughters of Jarasandha. They went and complained to Jarasandha that your son-in-law has been killed unjustly. So Jarasandha became very angry. So he wanted to take revenge on Krishna. And he came and he challenged Krishna. See, maternal uncle is equivalent to father. So how can you kill your father? Then Krishna said, if you are talking of so many rules, then how can you allow maternal uncle to kill the children of the sister? When 6 children were killed, smashed and killed, you did not speak anything. When rules did not apply there, how can rules apply here? So, but Jarasandha, see, demoniac people, their mind is so crippled, they can't understand anything. If you give good sense, they can't understand. So they tried to, he tried to attack Mathura. How many times? 17 times he came with his army. And Krishna always humbled Jarasandha by leaving him alone and killing his entire army. Krishna and Balarama killed his entire army and left him only alone. Now Jarasandha was always feeling sad. He used to go back, but again by demoniac spirit, again he used to accumulate his army, again he used to attack. What is Krishna trying to do? He is trying to reduce the burden of the earth. The demoniac, that burden which has been accumulated by Jarasandha, all has been wiped out. 18th time Krishna ran away from the battlefield because there was one more reason, that Rukmani had sent a letter that very soon please come and retrieve me. But Jarasandha was thinking, see, Pirikapanta Paripotanadu. He was calling him Ranchor, Ranchor. A Kshatriya will never run away. But Krishna took that credit, and even today he is glorified as Ranchor. If you go to Dakor, he is worshipped as the one who ran away from the battlefield, but for whose purpose? For his devotee's purpose. Because Jarasandha was not to be killed by Krishna. That was the point why Krishna was not killing him. Mahabharata says there are 5 people who are of equal strength, and one person will kill the other 4. Who are that 5 people? Bhima, Duryodhana, Kichaka, Hidimba, Jarasandha. So one person will kill the other 4 because all these 5 are of equal strength. So that's why Krishna was trying to avoid killing Jarasandha, because he was destined to be killed by Bhima. But the challenging attitude, you see, always, see, 17 times he has been defeated, but still he is coming back to fight. Then one more person was there, Paundraka. So he was also challenging Krishna. He sent a message with his messenger by claiming, Vasudeva avatirnoham eka eva na chaparaha bhutanam anukampardam tam tu mitya abhidham tvaya teja. He is saying, Vasudeva avatirnoham. I am that original Vasudeva who had appeared now. Aham Vasudevaha. Eka eva na cha aparaha. I am the only one, and there is no one other than me. I am that original Vasudevaha. Bhutana manukampardam. Why did you do? Why did you appear? For showing compassion to the living entities. Bhutana manukampardam avatirnaha. Tvam tu mitya abhidham taja. Now you give up your false thing that you are Vasudeva and surrender unto me, he said. Next. Yanitvam asmat chishnani maudyad bibrashi satvata tektva hi mam tvam sharanam na che dehi mamavaham. So he is saying, oh Satvata, oh in the Satvata race, asmat chishnani tektva, give up your symbols. What were Krishna's symbols? Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma. He is saying, give up your symbols. They are my symbols. And Maudyat, which you have accepted out of foolishness. You are a Muda. And Yanitvam Bibrasi, which you carry now, which are actually mine. And Yehimam Tvam Sharanam, come and fall at my feet, take my shelter. Now Chet Mamadehi Ahavam. If you do not desire to fight in the battlefield, surrender unto me, or else be ready for the battle. See, whatever he said was one point correct. Because he was the first son of Vasudeva, he is also Vasudeva. He is the son of Vasudeva only. Vasudeva had 18 wives. The first wife, the son was Paundraka. That's why he is known as Paundraka Vasudeva. But Krishna is the original Vasudeva. So when small people surrounding him, they said, you are that first son, you are the original Vasudeva. He started feeling, yes, I am the Vasudeva. That's like somebody sitting next to him and pumping with a gas. So people were becoming boasted, and he's showing his mighty chest. And he's thinking that I am original person. When foolish crowd is surrounded, and he is thinking that mighty. And when this message was sent in front of Yadu assembly, they were all started laughing. Because Krishna, no, he's a foolish man. So in that way, Krishna came, immediately killed Vasudeva, Paundraka. See, false imitators. They want to say that I am God. They were challenging that God. Krishna himself when personally present. This challenging attitude that existed in that particular perspective. Then we see some more challenging aspect. Shishupala challenging Krishna. When Rukmini was to be married to Shishupala, Krishna came and took Rukmini away. So Shishupala was always feeling, I am an equivalent competitor. Shishupala is saying that Hiraṇyākṣipu, Hiraṇyākṣa only, one of the brothers. So at that so opulent, they were feeling they were equal to Krishna in every aspect. So why only Krishna? Why not me? In the Rajasuya Yajna, when everybody had chosen Krishna as a supreme person to receive Adi Yajna, that first offering. So everybody were very happy. All the great sages were very happy. Bhishma was the one who certified it. Then Sahadeva certified it. All the sages were very happy. All the kings, devoted kings were all very happy. But Shishupala was burning with fire. He said, how you can do all these things and all? You are all acting foolishly. When there are great personalities, how can this cowherd boy who ran away for his life can be the original person to receive this first offering? So everybody, he started criticizing Krishna left and right. All the other devotees who were all witnessing there, they immediately took up their weapons to kill Shishupala. But Krishna forbade them. And Krishna said, no, you need not take action, I will take action. Because Shishupala was destined to die in the hands of the Lord. Shishupala was also cousin. Vasudeva's sister's son he was. So when he took birth itself, that reason why he took birth, he had many arms and extra eyes. So whoever on his lap that baby is put, when his extra arms disappear, he will die in his hands. That was written. Then when Krishna and Balarama came, when Shishupala was put on the lap of Krishna, Shishupala's extra arms disappeared and that extra eye disappeared. So at that point, Shishupala mother requested Krishna, aunt, spare my son, don't kill him. Krishna said, I will wait for 100 mistakes, 100 or 108. After that, he'll be killed. He was given an opportunity. 100 times he was given an opportunity, but out of pride, the people did not convert their mentality. So he was lost. He was killed. Then in the Vedic times also we see Vishwamitra and Vashishta. Vishwamitra with his Kshatriya power was mightily challenging the Brahma Tejas of Vashishta. So like that always this challenging spirit existed. So then Kurus were challenging Pandavas. At every particular point they wanted to prove their identity. Kurus, they wanted to establish that they are the original hereditary. So they were always challenging Pandavas. Now in the modern day, if you see politicians challenge another politician at the time of assembly meetings or whatever, that election time. So one party person will challenge the other party person, competitor, or one party will challenge the other party. We dare to do all these things. So this challenging spirit existed always. Then in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's time, we see Keshava Kashmiri. He was roaming everywhere across India, challenging the scholars to establish his point that he is a Digvijayi. So this mentality always existed. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was a mere boy. If you see all the great scholars at that time in Navadvipa, they were all fearing. They were all thinking how to face him, how to handle him. He's a great personality who has never been defeated. That's why he is known as Digvijayi. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, just in the mere Sanskrit basis, he defeated him. Not in the grammar basis, in Sanskrit. Defeated that great scholar. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was also little challenging him on aspects of the Supreme Lord. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu humbled him there also. Prakashananda Saraswati, who was a great Mayavadi scholar, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu humbled him. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was roaming in South India, Buddhist scholars, they came to argue with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu defeated them. So this is in Sattva Guna. At least they don't fight and they don't create a ruckus. All the great Acharyas, Ramanujacharya, when he was roaming around, he was defeating various Mayavadi scholars, establishing the Vaishnava spirit. Madhvacharya, he debated various scholars and established Vaishnava spirit. See, the whole intention is when devotees try to do, it is for the good of everyone. Because when people are misled, miscommunicated about the original Vedic information, the devotees were going to establish that path as the Vaishnava perspective, to give them proper authority, information based on proper authority. Like similar situation when Goswamis were there. There was one scholar by name Rupa Narayan. He was a Digvajayi, he was going everywhere, he was conquering everywhere, a debate. So he came to Vrindavan thinking that there were great scholars by name Rupa and Sanatana, he wanted to debate. So when he came in front of Rupa Goswami and he said, I am a scholar and I have come here for a debate. So Rupa Goswami said, Rupa Goswami was following the system of Vaishnava perspective. So he was saying, Vado na valambyaha, meaning it is, devotees feel it is inappropriate to enter into a debate, wasting time. Because a devotee Vaishnava perspective and a person who are of ignorance in devotional perspective, when they try to argue, you are simply wasting your time to prove a point for a person who is worthless. So Rupa Goswami immediately said, no, somebody gave him misinformation. We are some simple people who are not interested, we are not even scholars. People simply they say that we are scholars, but actually we are not scholars. You are a great personality, you are so great. Then that person was feeling so much pride, he was thinking, yes, okay, I am so great, now you have accepted your defeat. Now sign in on a document that you have been defeated. So Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, they immediately signed. Because they were thinking, wasting time. To talk with him for 7 days, I can finish a book instead of wasting and talking with him. They signed and they sent him away. So when he came to Yamuna to take bath, there was Jiva Goswami there. When Jiva Goswami got to know that this person was claiming everywhere that he had defeated Rupa and Sanatana in a debate, Jiva Goswami became very angry. He said, this is not the Vaishnava etiquette. So he came and he said, I am challenging you. He said, who are you? I am the nephew and I am the next perspective of Jiva and Sanatana. So Rupa and Sanatana. Immediately the challenge was started, the debate started. 7 days the debate continued. And finally after 7th day, Rupa Narayana accepted his defeat because he could not come any conclusions about devotional perspective. So then Jiva Goswami became very victorious and he was very happy. He went back to Rupa Goswami to explain that he had defeated Rupa Narayana. Rupa Goswami became very angry. He said, why you have wasted your time? 7 days talking that foolish person is a waste of time. And you have become proud, you have become arrogant. This is not a symbol of a disciple. So you have lost your qualification, misused your qualification for becoming pride to stay in Vrindavan. You are not fit to stay in Vrindavan. You have been banished from Vrindavan. So Jiva became very disappointed. He left crying. He went to some village, some corner. He went to a cave. When he started sat inside and he started continuously chanting and in crying separation. He was not eating anything, barely some water to drink, and he was eating some raw flour, atta, just raw flour. And he was simply crying and chanting, and he was becoming a secluded person. Sanatana Goswami, who used to travel village to village, he used to come across, because he was treated like their own family man. Villagers used to come and meet him and they used to discuss with him all their problems and they used to take him as their head of the house. Everybody used to give him that respect. So they were coming and everywhere and meeting Sanatana. One day they said, there was one sadhu who was sitting in a cave. He became so lean and so thin that we are very sure that he may not survive for very long. Then Sanatana could understand that it was Jiva, because he heard that Jiva was been banished. Nobody know where did Jiva go. Then he came and he saw Jiva. Then he immediately went back to Rupa Goswami and he said, what was the instruction of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? So Rupa Goswami said, Jiva Daya, like that. Some principles were there. Then Sanatana said, Jiva Daya means not only to Daya to other jivas, daya to Jiva Goswami also. Then he immediately chastised him and he said, see, he is trying to maintain our reputation. It is the disciple's duty to guard the reputation of his guru. So he was doing his duty. Because this person tomorrow will go and claim everywhere that I have defeated Rupa and Sanatana. So he was maintaining or protecting the etiquette of the Vaishnava perspective. So he did his duty properly and he have excessively reacted, overreacted. Please immediately bring him back and nurse him back to life. Then Rupa Goswami went and he immediately called for Jiva. Jiva came out. He was so lean and thin. He was almost like fragile personality. Then Rupa immediately embraced him and Jiva also fell at his feet, begged for forgiveness. He was brought back to his ashrama. He was continuously nursed, brought him back to proper shape and proper understanding. Now he has been given the proper leadership under Rupa Goswami to edit the books of Rupa and Sanatana. See, the Vaishnava perspective, what do we understand from this? There was 4 points what we have to understand from this pastime. Humility over pride. So Rupa Goswami's initial response to Pandit's challenge exemplifies his humility that a devotee must embody, valuing peace over proving oneself right. That person was with pride, but Vaishnavas are always with humility. The second one was the danger of ego. Jiva Goswami's decision to engage in debate, even though well-intentioned, reveals the subtle dangers of pride and ego, even when motivated by a desire to defend one's guru. A prospect is there that we can become egoistic and pride in our endeavor, even though we are trying to defend our guru. The third one was the power of compassion and forgiveness. The importance the story illustrates about compassion and forgiveness in spiritual life. Sanatana Goswami's intervention and Rupa Goswami's eventual forgiveness remind us that true spiritual progress is marked by a heart full of mercy and ability to forgive. And the last point was unconditional devotion. Despite being cast out, Jiva Goswami continued his devotion and service under the most difficult circumstances, demonstrating unwavering faith and dedication to his guru and Krishna. So these are the prime aspects. See, any pastime, Vaishnavas teach us certain qualities which we have to imbibe from that story. So always these existed, and we have been blessed by all the Vaishnava acharyas by saying how we have to handle the circumstances, how we have not to become proud, because pride precedes fall down. So how we should not act under ego, and how he should always defend one's guru, one's spiritual master at all circumstances. So this is the Vaishnava's way of handling the challenging attitude. The demoniac attitude was always kill the opposite person, attack him, destroy him, demonize the entire situation, keep always afraid, anxiety, fear. The Vaishnavas will be contrast perspective. So we'll understand more in the next verses, because as predicted by Varuna, the arrogance, the pride of Hiraṇyākṣa will be driven away by Varaha. So we'll see that in the future verses. We'll stop here. Any questions? ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की, जगत गुरु शिला प्रभुपाद की, निताय गौर।